There's no way I just screwed up like that. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Unbound. I'm your main host, Jay Morales. Let's get everything going. So far, I want to apologize for yesterday not coming on. Things had come up, and yeah. But I want to say welcome back to the Unbound Podcast. And today we got a jam-packed episode covering politics, culture, global events, and legal cases and entertainment highlights. And I'm so sorry about that. This thing is blowing up already. All right. Here's what we're diving into today. Government shutdown risks. Trump in military leadership changes, Pfizer Medicaid deal, natural disasters in the Philippines, ICE journalists clash, Michigan church shooting, Harvard funding threats, Charlie Kirk's assassination trial, Lorenz Kraus confession, Terence Crawford traffic incident, Diddy sentencing update, Jimmy Kimmel's return to Brooklyn, and Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show for Super Bowl 60. Before we dive into full-on episode here, I would like to bring in our co-hosts, Revelations and the Prophet. How you guys doing this evening?
Oh, same.
Glad to be here.
Good. Don't forget, every ending of this episode, there will be a daily reminder by our good friend Revelations. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. If you haven't catched it yet, make sure to go into our Unbound Podcast playlist and go down to find one of the shorts called Egg Salad Recipe, one of our daily reminders, how to do a very good recipe for our egg salad. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. It's quick and very delicious.
Indeed.
It'll be like maybe at tops maybe 5 minutes at most.
I remember
if you need a good quick snack, and that'll be if you want to make yourself that and enjoy the podcast, go do that.
Hell yeah. Make sure to watch all of our episodes. This is now episode 13 so far. I would like to also say, let me look it up here real quick before I forget. Make sure that I give the right information. But I would like to also say thank you very much to everybody that has checked out the channel, has liked and subscribed to the channel. The channel has been growing for the last week and a half or so. We right now have 247 subscribers, so I would like to say thank you very much to those who have subscribed. Awesome. Make sure to check us out more often on the live podcast where we give you the recent news and updates and entertainment, global disasters, global issues. We just give you the facts of what's going on, and then sometimes topics that nobody really knows about. So make sure to catch us Monday to Friday. I always say 5:30 to 9:30. I know that we're starting at 10:40 today, but it's because we have to keep up with the updates, ladies and gentlemen. And the docket team, it's kind of a slow docket team, but it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. It's a slow process, but it will get there. We also have today a quick segment on some topics from our good friend the Prophet, and we're gonna be diving right into the works here. Oh, all right. So the following topic that we're going to discuss is the United States is teetering on the edge of a government shutdown as Senate Democrats successfully blocked the latest Republican-led funding bill. The legislative impasse underscores the high-stakes political battle over the federal budget and health care policy, with millions of Americans potentially affected if negotiations fail. The healthcare at the center. So the core fight is at the healthcare at the center. At the heart of the disagreement is healthcare. Republicans has been pushing for major cuts and structural changes for federal healthcare programs, including Medicaid and certain provisions under the Affordable Care Act. Their aim is to reduce federal spending while reshaping health policy in a way that aligns with conservative priorities. Democrats, however, are standing firm, arguing that such cuts would jeopardize coverage for millions of Americans, particularly low-income families, seniors, and vulnerable populations. Senate Democrats have framed the issue as a fight over who the government protects in times of fiscal stress, portraying the GOP proposal as an attack on essential services. So Trump shadows pulling strings in the background, even though he is no longer he's in office now. Docket team screwing up again. He still continues to indicate that Trump is actively tying his political agenda, particularly issues like immigration policy, border security, and social program reform, to the ongoing budget negotiations. His endorsement is public statements are shaping the GOP strategy, effectively making him they're calling him a kingmaker in the legislative standoff. What do you think about that? Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Republican Senator John Thune have emerged as the central figures in the negotiations. Schumer tasked with rallying Democrat senators to resist concessions that could undercut key social programs, while Thune is navigating internal GOP pressure to pass a spending package that satisfies Trump's agenda. Their exchanges and behind-the-scenes negotiations will largely determine whether Congress can avoid a shutdown or if the federal government will grind to a halt. What a shutdown will look like. Should a shutdown occur, the consequences should be immediate for far-reaching. Federal agencies, many government offices would close or operate with skeleton staff, including the Department of Education, the EPA, and various regulatory bodies. Critical services like national parks, visa, and passport processing an IRS operation could see significant delays. Workers, hundreds of thousands of federal employees may be without pay. Hopefully you guys get me what I mean there. For without pay, leading to economic stress for families across the country. Public impact, Social Security checks, veterans benefits, and Medicare and Medicaid could see disruptions, though certain payments are protected by law. The first to feel the brunt of a shutdown will likely be the low and middle income Americans who rely heavily on government services. The visibility of these impacts often put pressure on elected officials as the public tends to blame lawmakers for bureaucratic failures. Politically, the stakes are enormous. Republicans may benefit if they successfully frame Democrats as obstructionists, but this strategy carries risk if essential services fail and public opinion turns negative. Democrats, meanwhile, aim to position themselves as a defender of everyday Americans, protecting health care and federal service from cuts. Looking ahead to the 2026 midterms, the budget fight could serve as a referendum on both parties' priorities. Democrats may see supports among voters who fear cuts to health care and social programs. Republicans could rally their base around fiscal responsibility in opposition to Democratic spending. Any shutdown related chaos aligning the general public, potentially hurting whichever party is perceived as the primary instigator. Both sides are calculating just the immediate budgetary consequences, but how this showdown will affect Senate races, gubernatorial contests, in the presidential landscape in 2026. So here's my discussion questions to this topic. How much influence should former presidents or current presidents wield in congressional negotiations?
Honestly, my whole entire thing is you're just never gonna get a straight answer when it comes down to fucking the budget thing. One side wants one thing, and they're gonna, slip in their agenda. Another side, wants their thing. They're gonna slip in their agenda, and you know, uh, obviously each side has to read it. When they get to reading what it is, they're gonna notice. Oh, hey, uh, why'd you try slipping this in? Blah 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 blah. We were up, for it until seeing this. Blah blah. We don't want it. Blah blah blah. And you figure this is a crucial time to fucking have it because we're quite literally on the brink of war. With Venezuela, we're getting ready to potentially go to war with Russia because of all the bullshit they're getting ready to pull. It's like, are you guys this stupid? Like, nobody gives a shit what you're trying to hide. Like, just fucking agree. Like, like, come on now. Like, fight
Right.
with each other some other time. Like, we all know you dumb bastards fucking lobby and do all other sorts of shit and everything else. Like, like, seriously.
Right. Right. Anything on that, Prophet?
Not really, no.
All right, moving on to the next question. Are health care cuts a political liability or winning issue for Republicans? And I don't know why it's picking left or right. If you want to maybe we don't touch it like if it's something Republican or Democratic. What do you think? Is it a winning issue for any of them at all?
As far as healthcare goes,
Yeah, it says are health care cuts a political liability or a winning issue for Republicans, or because that's the topic right now. They're blaming the Democrats for this government shutdown. So would this
well,
be
I
a winning issue
understand
for
that,
Republicans?
but it's just they're going to try and fucking around with people's money, and they want to get the most of it.
Facts.
So, who's really trampling on who here with healthcare?
That is the question,
It's
and
a
you guys
fire.
should let us
It
know
is
the
a
answer right
fire.
in the comment section, please, and then we'll go through it on the next episode. Go ahead. Oh, okay. And the next question will be who will voters blame first if a shutdown happens? Like I said, they're already blaming the Democrats.
I I think if a shutdown happens, they're just gonna blame the fucking government in general. To be like, oh well, fucking government's fault again. It shut down. Blah blah. Like they've done it before. As soon as the government shuts down, they stop caring if it's a single party that did it, and they immediately go to, oh well, it's the government's fault. It's like, no, they fucking both contributed to it
Yeah,
by
exactly.
not agreeing. It's like, it's not, at that point, it's not one fucking party's fault. They couldn't agree. They literally, leading up to the shutdown, they get multiple fucking chances to re-agree several
Correct.
times, amend it, and they just can never agree.
Yeah, it says here the U.S. Senate adjourned Tuesday without reaching a deal on extending the federal funding, meaning the U.S. government is expected to shut down at 12:01 a.m. Wednesday, practically tonight. It will mark the nation's first federal government shutdown in almost 7 years. Partial shutdown will have range of effects on public services, like we talked about, in the broader U.S. economy, and the employee furlough and potential layoffs will halt some government activities. While furloughs of employees have been part of previous shutdowns, federal agencies under President Donald Trump have also been urged to consider more permanent reduction in force for programs not consistent with the president's priorities. And then this one, docket team, couldn't you made it like this? This is awesome. Well, government shutdown means, we talked about that. Some federal services will halt, like we talked about. All administration gets some leeway to choose which services to freeze and which to maintain. In a shutdown, FBI investigators, CIA officers, air traffic controllers, and agents operating airport checkpoints keep working. Those programs that rely on mandatory spending also generally continue during a shutdown. Trump's immigration crackdown will also continue, but they got money for that. Anyway, well, that's another topic. Uh, Um, Republicans crafted the short-term measure to fund the government through November 21st, but Democrats insisted that the measure address their concerns on health care. They want to reserve to the Medicaid cuts in Trump's mega bill passed this summer, and extend tax credits that make health insurance premiums more affordable for millions of people who purchase through the marketplaces established by the Affordable Care Act. Republicans call the Democratic proposal a non-starter. So senators will return to work Wednesday morning. Senate Majority Leader John Thune say he's hoping that enough Democrats will change their votes to reopen the government and end the shutdown soon. So tomorrow morning, the government should shut it down for what? Maybe like 5-6 hours, and then they're going to go in and try to vote again. I wouldn't doubt that right now they're there talking about it. So, some of them don't go home. You know what I'm saying?
Considering, a lot of them fucking ended up moving to Washington or surrounding area just so that they could fucking, decrease travel time.
Yep, facts. Facts. Okay, let's see. You guys can still hear me, right? Like really well?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure that everything is still working like as it should. You guys can still hear me, right? Like really well?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure that everything is I want is the audio from the feed sounding good? Can anybody tell me? Like, does it sound like two voices are coming out or anything like that?
It just did.
What?
I reheard myself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
I
was
was just
back.
making sure
Yeah.
that it was coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. I should have pressed this one over here. Okay, good. It does sound good. I listened to it on this one instead. All right. Sorry, guys. Just checking out if everything is still working. Well, but moving right along to the next thing. The next segment is about rewriting the ranks. Hexed Trump in the military reset. The U.S. military has long been considered based Bayesian professionalism, apolitical service, and institutional continuity. That framework may be shifting as President Donald Trump meets with influential media figure Pete Hegseth and senior generals, and signaling a new era where political alignment and messaging could intersect more overtly with military leadership. According to reports from many news outlets, Trump's meeting was framed around what he and Hegseth described as ending politically correct leadership in armed forces. The language signals a desire to reshape military norms, and not mercilessly by policy tweaks, but by redefining the cultural, ideological expectations of officers, enlisted personnel. At the stake is more than rhetoric. The discussion touches on personal decisions, morale in the chain of command, raising questions about institutional integrity of a historical apolitical military. Career officers may face pressure to align with messaging that is more cultural or political, potentially altering both recruitment and retention patterns. The meeting brought together a mix of active and retired generals alongside Pete Hegseth, a former National Guard officer turned media personality known for conservative commentary. Public statements made by Hegseth framed the discussion as a call to restore real leadership and reject what he termed the overreach of political correct culture. What was said was that the conversation reportedly emphasized loyalty, cultural alignment, and messaging consistency over traditional merit-based promotions. Media versus insider view was that while Hegseth and Trump framed this as empowering military leadership and morale, career officers in analysis might view it as potential politicized. Can't say these words today. I'm Hispanic, so when I'm saying these words, they intervene a little bit. Sorry. Politicalization of the chain of command, creating tension between professional norms and political expectations. Traditionally, the U.S. military maintains a strict separation between professional duties and political ideology. Officers are expected to uphold the Constitution, follow lawful orders, and remain nonpartisan in their public and professional actions. When political ideology begins to influence leadership decisions, several consequences could emerge. Personal impacts like promotions and assignment could increasingly favor those aligned with specific ideology perspectives. Recruitment and retention, top talent may be deterred if they perceive the military as a political charged workplace. Credibility and morale, international trust, cohesion, and the respect of rank and file service of members could be undermined, potentially affecting operational readiness. There's some strategic and political implications, like Trump's engagement with military in this context can be interpreted as both symbolic and strategic. The public messaging serves to signal loyalty to his base, reinforcing a narrative of authority and culture shaping influence. By emphasizing ideological alignment, Trump positioned the military as both a platform for messaging and demonstrating of governance philosophy. However, this approach carries risk. Critics may highlight a growing civil military divide, with with warnings that politicalization undermines the legitimacy of U.S. armed forces. Congressional oversight and defense leadership could push back if perceived norms are eroded, potentially framing the discussion as a threat to national security. So, see scenarios and what to watch. Observers should monitor the following developments as personal shakeups are promotions or assignments being influenced by ideological alignments rather than experience. Oh, I see here. I see. Okay, so listen. Are promotions or assignments being influenced by ideological alignment rather than experience? Do you have anything to say about that? Y'all there? Y'all fell asleep?
Yeah. No, we we're still here. We're waiting for.
Will military-themed media or public statements increasingly reflect political narratives?
Honestly, can't think of anything.
Well, let me know in the comment section what you think. I'll keep continuing with these questions, so let me know what y'all think. How will
Yeah, let's
Congress,
do.
Pentagon leadership, and military advisory council respond? Um, a line crossed could occur if active personnel are publicly pressured to endorse a political position, a political violation, and a long-standing military ethics. The implication extends beyond 2025 and 2026, as these dynamics could shape expectations for future administrations and the professional culture of the U.S. Armed Forces. So yeah, there's that was that topic about Hexeth meeting that he had today with Donald Trump and military leaders. They're calling it. I think they're calling it. Let me see. I'll tell you a little more.
Man, we're only on the second one
Yeah, we're already on the second one. Yep.
out of 10.
Out of 13.
Out of 30.
And they're short. They're all short. We're gonna fly right through it. I only made it for an hour segment. I'm trying to read quick. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Pete Hegseth assembled 2 million Americans in uniform under President Donald Trump command. He says, for too long we promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons, based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts. Hegseth said the approach, he said, made the Pentagon less capable and less lethal. Hegseth talked up his and Trump's focus on the warrior's ethos and peace through strength. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris, he declared. Holy shit. What he said. Any place where tried and true physical standards were altered, especially since 2015, when combat arms standards were changed to ensure females could qualify, must be returned to their original standard. Oh. It's not clear what Hegseth meant by returning physical expectations to their original standard, but military culture and the role of women have changed dramatically in recent decades, and Hegseth aims to change them back. In 2015, then Defense Secretary Ash Carter ordered that all military jobs be open to women. That change followed 3 years of study and wrangling and was formal recognition that thousands of women had served, and many were wounded or killed on battlefields in Iraq and Afghanistan. Carter said that the military could no longer afford to exclude half of the population from high risk military posts, and that any man or woman who meets the standards should be able to serve. Special operation forces in surveys done in 2015 and more recently said women lacked the physical or mental strength to serve in elite commando units, and doing so could hurt the unit's effectiveness. Hex had said the policy will be to ensure that every designated combat arms position returns to the highest male standard. But he was careful to say that the policy is not an effort to block women from serving. When it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral, he said. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. This is not the intent, but it could be the result. So he's practically telling that what were the military standards in 1990? What he said was that what were the military standards in 1990? If they have changed, tell me why. What was it necessary change based on the evolving landscape of combat, or was the change due to a softening, awakening, or gender-based pursuit of other priorities? Oh my God. Before 1991, women were barred by law from flying combat missions and serving on naval combat ships. Noting the performance of female pilots in the Persian Gulf War, Congress rescinded the laws in the early 1990s. By 1994, women were allowed to serve in most roles not involving direct ground combat. Faced with fallout of the Vietnam War, racial tensions within the ranks of the military was trying to boost recruitment numbers, said Gary Solis, a former Marine Corps prosecutor and military judge who has taught the laws of war at universities. Quote, it was needed, and I don't believe it weakened the military. He also went into fat troops. He said, frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations on really any information and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see a fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. Holy crap. This guy went ham on everybody. And then kill people and breaking. He also talked about that. He said you can kill people and break things for a living. You are not politically correct or don't necessarily belong always in polite society. Yeah, he went ham on a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to keep reading because this is all about that they're trying to cancel the woke agenda. What do you guys think?
Sounds like it. Just old people just trying to be old.
Yeah, pretty much. They're
And
just
that's
trying to
who's running
rewrite
the whole
everything
place,
that
is
has to
old
do with
people,
military.
because
Go ahead.
they were too afraid to get on the front lines.
Yeah, I don't even know how Trump is involved because, last time I knew that in record he didn't serve, so I don't understand that. But moving along now with Pfizer. Prescription resets Pfizer deal and what it means for drug pricing. Let me take a sip out of this water real quick. Anybody got a quick announcement or anything like that? Any game announcement? Any movie announcement? Anything happening this week?
Yeah. As we all know, EA has, well, I don't know if we all know, but EA has been recently acquired by, three, two private, like companies and one government-owned company, which I think has the majority share of them, which belongs to the Saudi government, um, and uh, BioWare, um, is the makers of Mass Effect and Dragon Age, to name a few, are very concerned with their uh, company's future because of their whole stance with allowing you to do pretty much whatever you want with your character. Like allowing you to, choose whatever gender your lover is. And they're very worried about the, if their studio is going to be even around because of that. In the next few years, because the views on homosexuality in that part of the world, particularly Saudi Arabia.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
And the whole entire internet is is pretty much blowing up the they've been talking about this whole entire thing quite a lot. Like it's pretty much the front page news of the internet. Not many people are happy.
That's not good.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so if anyone has any opinions on that one.
I say let love, but apparently the government wants to run a whole psyops against it with politically infused propaganda about who you should and shouldn't be able to love.
I mean, like I've always said, I'm all for whatever the hell, whoever you want to, worship, whatever. Just don't shove it in my face.
That's true too. It has been brought to everyone's attention.
That's a fact. Moving on to the next segment, like I said, was the Pfizer deal and what it could mean for drug pricing. The ongoing debate over drug prices in the United States took a major turn as Pfizer agreed to lower costs for certain prescription and medications under a deal brokered during President Trump's tenure. According to outlets, the agreement targets Medicaid programs aiming to provide relief to millions of beneficiaries while reshaping the economic landscape for one of the country's largest pharmaceutical companies. Um, Here's some of the details. Pfizer has committed to reducing prices of select high cost medications, though the scope and timeline vary depending on drug categories and state specific Medicaid programs. This includes widely prescribed treatments in areas like cardiovascular health, oncology, and diabetes management. Trump's administration leveraged public pressure negotiations with corporate leadership and strategic messaging to frame the deal as a win for consumers, hitting the headlines as a major drug pricing reset. The initiative highlights how presidential influence, formal or informal, can affect private sector decision and public perception. So here's the scope. Medicaid recipients stand to see lower copays and improve access to essential medicine. The timeline also says reductions are set to roll out in stages with immediate effects for select drugs and no longer and long-term adjustments for the broader portfolio. Beyond negotiations, public statements from the current President Donald Trump positioned the deal as a direct response to rising healthcare costs, blending policy with political messaging. The immediate beneficiaries are Medicaid patients, particularly those in states with large enrollment in programs covering chronic and high-cost conditions. Saving could be substantial for individuals requiring ongoing treatment, such as insulin-dependent diabetics or cancer patients on long-term therapies. States may also be budgetary relief as lower drug costs reduce the strain on state-funded Medicaid programs. However, some trade-offs may exist behind the scenes, such as negotiated caps for formulary restrictions or adjustments in rebates that could shift costs elsewhere. Analysis split on whether this deal is primarily substantive reform or strategic political maneuver ahead of 2026 elections. Comparisons with past administrations, both Republicans and Democrats, show that the drug pricing deals often walk the line between meaningful cost reductions and headline-grabbing initiatives. Potential backlash from the pharmaceutical lobby is another factor. Companies may resist further concessions, and legal challenges or market adjustments could be implementations. Complicate implementations. Implementations. My God, I need water. Observers are also watching whether private insurance or Medicare plans will attempt to leverage similar pricing structures, potentially creating broader ripple effects in the industry. If successful, this agreement could set a precedent for future negotiations, influencing how Medicare, private insurance, and even international markets engage with pharmaceutical gains or pharmaceutical giants. R&D incentives. Critics argue that aggressive pricing reductions could impact funding for research and development, potentially slowing down innovation and new drug development. Market pricing. Other drug markets may adjust pricing strategies in response, creating a cascade effect across the healthcare system. The next steps are like enforcing, monitoring, compliance, and legislative or judicial pushback will be critical to ensuring that promised savings reach patients without unintended consequences. Yeah. What you guys think about that? You think it's gonna help out, like with medicine, with people that need the medicine to be lowered? Because
Yes,
I know that it
I
costs like over $1,000 now for an EpiPen or something. I think it's all. Go ahead.
I'm not entirely sure how much it costs, but I mean, they've been fucking around with Medicaid for fucking years, dude. Like, I don't see them ever figuring out a proper way to, make it correct. Like, I think they're looking in the short term, like actually for short term solutions and they're never looking for long term solutions.
Yeah.
Like, like to put it in like an easier solution that people might, or not solution phrasing that people might understand. They're just patching up holes in the road instead of fucking paving the whole entire road. So when the road just so that the road continuously fucking breaks. When they should be fixing the whole damn thing by just paving the fucking thing.
Just like I bet everybody goes through, I bet your city, somewhere in the States that gets a lot of snow, they end up doing the paving job just a month or a couple weeks before snow comes, and then here comes the plow truck, and there goes our money, there goes our taxes. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like those, they just patch here, patch here, patch there, patch there. That's literally what I mean. Short-term solution. Like yeah, it's good. That's what Medicare is for. Like helping people out. I like it. Don't get me wrong. So do tons of other people. But
Yep.
when you're trying to help people by doing stuff to Medicare, you need also to look at it's like, okay, we're doing this, but what is it going to do in the long term if we do? And they're never usually doing that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's my whole take on that.
I would like to give a shout out to Xavier Miller. What's going on, buddy? Thank you. Yes, the topics are very interesting. Thank you. Yes, we find out the latest of the latest, and then we talk about it. We debate on it. We just talk about it. Moving on to something disastrous that happened yesterday. Earthquake struck the Philippines. The Central Philippines is grappling with devastating natural disaster as a 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck offshore near Cebu province, killing at least 20 people, injuring dozens more, and leaving thousands of homes damaged and destroyed. According to outlets, the earthquake hit just days after a deadly storm swept through the region, creating a compound humanitarian crisis and testing local and international emergency response systems. Several towns were hit hardest, including Bogo, San Remigio, and surrounding municipalities, where collapsed walls, landslides, and damaged infrastructure have left residents trapped or displaced. Rescue efforts face serious logistical challenges, blocked roads, darkness during nightfall, unstable terrain, slowed access to affected areas. Survivors have fled damaged homes, often gathering in open fields, while fear of aftershocks has kept communities on edge. The psychological toll is significant as residents struggle to recover from the storm and now face another disaster. The earthquake struck while the region was still reeling from a recent storm that had already caused deaths and destroyed infrastructure and disrupted essential services. Roads weakened by floodwaters and mudslides worsened the earthquake's impact, but making humanitarian response more difficult. Emergency teams have had to navigate damaged bridges, blocked highways, and compromised utility systems to reach survivors. The timing highlights the vulnerability of disaster-stricken areas when sequential events occur in short periods. Power outages and water supply disruptions have hampered rescue and relief operations. Public buildings, fire stations, and essential facilities have suffered damage, slowing coordination efforts. Authorities briefly issued a tsunami warning, later lifted, but continued to caution residents about aftershocks and minor sea level disturbances, which could trigger additional landslides or coastal flooding. Uh, Recovery will be a long process. Restoring power, repairing roads, and rebuilding homes are immediate priorities. While international aid organizations and NGOs are mobilizing to provide emergency relief. The event underscores the psychological and logistical strain on communities facing repeated natural disasters. They also raise questions about disaster readiness in nations like the Philippines, which regularly confront both storms and seismic activity. Long-term planning, resilience, infrastructure, and early warning systems are critical to reducing the impact of future catastrophes. So with that, we send our heartfelt condolences for those that lost loved ones into that tragic event, and we send a lot of strength for those that have to now, fight through to get this disaster all cleaned up and ready to go for a new life again. Anything on that?
Yeah, we've always been slow to act for disasters, and not just we, but everyone. It's hard to take at the time. We're never ready for it, but it always happens.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, it's usually like, oh, okay, well, let's see if this actually progresses. Starts getting more, you know, it's getting bigger, but I don't actually think it's gonna do anything. Actually forms, maybe we should have done something. Actually strikes. Holy fuck. We could have prevented this if we actually did something. It's like, no shit, but you didn't.
Yeah, waited last minute. A lot of things happen like that. Moving on to the next segment. Press under pressure. ICE agents clash with a journalist at the NYC Immigration Court. The same place where, I don't know if you just heard recently, a lady was pushed to the ground unnecessarily by an ICE agent in that same courthouse. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was in the same courthouse. Let me look up some more information on that real quick. Let's see here. Oh, well, I looked this up. Go ahead and anything else you guys want to add on anything?
Oh,
Mark's got something?
yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
Let's see. Yeah, I think it's at the same place that this happened. Is it correct? Yeah. Here, I'm gonna read it from here. Oh, okay. Never mind. We'll read it from here. Tension flared at the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) office in Manhattan. I think it was Manhattan. This is why I'm worried about if it's Manhattan or not. Yeah, it is in Manhattan. Yeah, same place where the lady then got pushed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and the dude got fired, so I don't know if they're going to try to fire this guy too as well, so we'll see about that. Tensions flared at the U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement office in Manhattan on September 30th when agents forcibly removed journalists from a public area outside the Immigration Court at 26 Federal Plaza. The incident has sparked widespread condemnation and renewed debate over press freedoms, public access to government proceedings, and the conduct of federal enforcement officers. The incident journalist El Vural Ilabol of the Turkish Anadolu agency sustained a head injury after being shoved to the ground and required hospitalization. Two other journalists, Dean Moses and Olga Fedorova, were involved in the altercation but were not seriously hurt. Video footage shows ICE agents aggressively pushing the journalist despite no prior warnings or official enforcement instructions. Witnesses report that the media had regularly worked in this area without incident, and no clear signage or instructions are indicated that the hallway was restricted. Homeland Security officials defended the agents' actions, claiming that officers were obstructed and blaming agitators for creating unsafe conditions. However, eyewitness accounts dispute this narrative, noting that the journalists were performing routine reporting duties and had not acted aggressively. This confrontation is not an isolated incident. Just days earlier, an ICE officer was filmed shoving an Ecuadorian woman to the ground at the same immigration court, raising broader concerns about the treatment of civilians and journalists in public areas of federal facilities. Both events occurred in public hallways where media access is generally permitted, highlighting the sudden escalation in enforcement tactics. Observers are concerned that the incident may signal a trend towards more aggressive and opaque enforcement practices. Opaque. I think it's opaque. Reducing transparency, eroding public trust in immigration proceedings. Media access and First Amendment rights. Journalists routinely cover immigration hearings in public spaces to ensure accountability and provide coverage of critical government processes. The sudden use of force in this case raises questions about the protection of the First Amendment right. Were journalists given etiquette notice of restricted areas? Is this force, or is the force use appropriate? Why are they saying it like that? Is the force use proportionate? Okay. Is the force use proportionate to the situation, or how will public access and media oversight be preserved in future proceedings? What do you guys think?
I want to know the full story behind it. Like,
Do you want the full story? I got it up right here.
well, no, like I want to know, like, like, why was the dude being, dragged out? What, and like, and so if there was somebody being dragged out, obviously that person, clearly ICE must not have wanted them in if they were forcibly having to remove them. And I don't believe you're allowed to record on federal property. As soon as something indicates that there is, like a sign or anything that says such and such area, it starts the, area of federal property, and you are no longer allowed to go inside and film unless you have special permission. So you can't just be, going in there as a member of media unless you have, said pass stating media. So that person, if they had walked in there, like that person that you're talking about that got pushed over, if they were in there when they got pushed over and they didn't get permission, I'm not defending those ICE agents if they did push them over, but that person, it was their fault if they didn't get permission. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if he or she did get permission and there was no prior warning and they pushed them over, 100% their fault. Like, there has to be context for what has happened on their whoever's side. Like, it just comes down to a matter of, like, nowadays, people, like, you just see these videos. Oh, I'm gonna film a cop and of him just mistreating someone, and cop gets fired. When in reality, that video is only like 20 seconds long and it shows that, but really there's like fucking almost 20 minutes beforehand of shit that's been going on. You don't see the whole entire picture sometimes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Should I read the topic? The most recent topic?
Yeah, sure.
So at least one journalist appeared to be injured after one reporter was grabbed and another one was shoved by the masked immigration customs at the New York City Immigration Court Tuesday morning. Video encountered showed in the video a group of people enter an elevator, including a reporter from AM New York, who was carrying his camera. A masked man wearing a bulletproof vest with the word police grabs the reporter as others shout, "Get the fuck off the elevator." The video obtained by Getty Images shows another woman shooting photos outside the elevator is then shoved to the ground by another masked agent and falls onto another man with a camera who was also knocked to the floor, the video shows. A witness can be saying, "Oh my God," several times. CNN has reached out to AM New York, a freelance photographer whose client include Associated Press and a videographer from the Anadolu agency who was injured were also involved. The latter left the building on a stretcher. The newspaper reported, and the video shows the two other journalists were not injured in the AP report. CNN reached out to those people and said again, the journalists were documenting an arrest when they were shoved, according to the New York Immigration Coalition. The ICE agents were arresting an immigrant from Peru when they were swarmed by agitators and members of the press. Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said in the statement, rioters and sanctuary politicians who encourage individuals to interfere with arrests are actively creating hostile environments that put officers, detainees, and the public in harm's way. Following last week's terrorist attack, we are particularly concerned with our officers' safety, McLaughlin said, referring to the attack on the ICE officers in Dallas that has left two detainees dead. Again, we're arguing the media and politicians to stop fanning the flames of division and stop demonizing of law enforcement. Tuesday incident, which occurred 26 Federal Plaza, comes amid growing tensions nationally over ICE tactics. Critics say officers are being overly aggressive, while the agency says the safety of agents is at risk. In Illinois, four protesters are facing federal charges after weekend clashes in suburban Chicago, including one who allegedly threatened to kill an agent. And last week in the same building, an ICE officer who shoved a mother to the floor at Immigration Courthouse was relieved of his current duties. Tuesday encounter was condemned by immigration groups and Democratic politicians. ICE brutalizes New Yorkers every day without any accountability, whether it's family members attending court, community members offering court watch support, or journalists exercising their constitutional right to document events. ICE has shown a blatant disregard of human dignity and safety. Murad Awawde, president and CEO of New York Immigration Coalition, said in news release, our immigration courts should be places where due process and justice are upheld, not where violence is the norm. The organization is calling for ICE agents to be removed from immigration courts. New York Governor Kathy Hochul shared video of the incident. This abuse of law-abiding immigrants and the reporters telling their stories must end. What the hell are we doing here? She wrote. We cannot accept or normalize what has now become routine violence at 26 Federal Plaza. It has no place in our city, New York mayoral candidate Zoran Mendini said. Democratic House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said in a statement Tuesday that President Donald Trump DHS focuses more on bullying Americans than defending national security. He called on DHS to identify the agents involved and hold them accountable. Quote, "This is just the latest outrageous string of documented violence against law-abiding people exercising their rights," Jeffries said. Americans should not tolerate unaccountable mass secret police. And that's all we got on that. That's like the brand newest update on that.
I feel that we all should hold them accountable for what they've done.
I think so.
Because honestly, if we don't, who else?
That's like the second time so far. And when they push that mother, like, you can hear it in the video when she hits her head on the ground. Like, you know what I mean? The thud. It's bad. I'm trying to find this other. There it is. I think this is it. So over the weekend, a lot of bad things happened over the weekend. That's for sure. I think there was several shootings. I only got one here, but there was a Michigan shooting at Grand Blanc Township, Michigan, on September 28th, when a gunman rammed his truck into a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, opened fire on a congregants, and set the building ablaze. The attack claimed 4 lives, injured 8 others, and left the local community in shock. The suspect was a 40-year-old Thomas Jacobson. Thomas Jacob Sanford was killed by police at the scene. The background of the man was Sanford was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, reportedly harbored long-standing animosity towards Mormon faith. According to reports The Guardian, his hostility stemmed from a failed relationship with a Mormon woman during his time in Utah. Sanford frequently referred to Mormons as the Antichrists, and was vocal about his beliefs online and in private circles, indicating pre-existing extremist views. Among the deceased was a 77-year-old John Bond, a Navy veteran remembered by family and friends as a loving husband, father, and grandfather. The identities of these other victims have not been publicly released. 8 individuals sustained injuries, ranging from gunshot wounds to burns caused by the ensuing fire. The human toll extends beyond physical harm, as the attack has left lasting trauma for survivors and families in the broader congregation. Sanford executed a highly premeditated attack. He drove his pickup truck through the church front doors. He opened fire with a semi-automatic rifle. He used gasoline to ignite the building, causing extensive structural damage. Investigators discovered improvised explosive devices and incendiary materials in Sanford's vehicle, confirming the planned and targeted nature of the attack. The FBI is treating the case as an act of targeted violence, emphasizing the combination of firearms, explosives, and arson as a serious threat to public safety. Governor Gretchen Whitmer condemned the attack. That's a local community response out there. underscoring the need for communities to feel safe in places of worship. Local officials have called for enhanced security measures at religious institutions, including surveillance, emergency response planning, and potential coordination with law enforcement. Congregants and neighbors have organized vigils, community meetings, and counseling sessions to support healing and resilience. Here's some discussion points. What factors have, factors may have contributed to Sanford's extremist views and decisions to commit violence? How can communities identify and intervene before such escalation occurs? What do you guys think on that one?
I feel like
Go
he
ahead.
should serve his time. If he wants to make an attempt on people's lives for their beliefs.
Little information here that I left out. He was shot by a sheriff deputy.
Oh, so he's no longer with us.
No, he was murdered in the back of the church.
What do you mean he was murdered?
Sorry, why did I say murdered? My bad. He was shot. He was taken down. He was neutralized by the police is what I meant to say. I don't know why I said murdered. Sorry, I was reading something ahead of myself, and I said what I was reading. My bad. Because I'm looking for the other
Okay.
shooting. Go ahead. The next question is: how can local leaders, mental health professionals, and congressions work together to support survivors and rebuild trust in communal spaces?
Honestly, that's a tough one. Because every group, area, whatnot, like, has different, challenges to it. Like, one region will want, like, has, like, may present, like, has their own kind of mental, like, health challenges that need to be taken care of, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, how does this area need to be taken care of? Like, you can't just put a broad blanket over everything.
You're
So,
right.
like, and even it'll even go down to the community level. So, so it's really hard there too.
Right.
But I mean,
communal
you at
sponge
least
soaked
gotta
in
somehow
vinegar.
make an attempt, which
Uh-oh.
sadly it's not going very well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what are you on about? You got me scared, Jay.
No, I ended up closing all my stuff by mistake by pressing this button that I did not mean to press.
I just want to
It's
know
fixed.
why he was like, "Oh, hey, this Mormon girl, dumped me. So now I hate all Mormons because obviously they're like this, just like her. So what I'm gonna do is after I'm done with my depression from all of this, I'm just gonna, go and pew pew them all and yeah. Like, how does what? That doesn't even make sense. Yeah, I know something like that just never makes sense, but how are you supposed to connect the dots to that? Like,
I agree.
most shooters like that are like, okay, I was bullied in school, and now I'm a loner. So you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go and just shoot up a bunch of people to get revenge, or shit like that. But I was dumped by somebody of this particular faith that I've only been dating for a few months. So every single one of them must be like this. What?
Right?
I don't know.
Did I already ask this one? How can local leaders, mental health professionals, and congregation?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the most recent
Okay,
question.
that was the
you got,
question.
yeah.
Okay. So this incident serves as a somber reminder of the ongoing need for vigilance, both in protecting communities and in understanding the complex interplay of ideology, personal grievance, and access to weapons. Following the next one that happened over the weekend as well, a man was charged with killing 3 at a waterfront North Carolina bar. Is a decorated Marine veteran and Purple Heart recipient who did it. A man was charged with firing an assault rifle from a boat at patrons at the North Carolina waterfront, killing 3 people and wounding 5. Was a decorated Marine combat veteran with a Purple Heart. Um, who was last assigned with was with a wounded warrior battle lion, warrior battle lion. You ever heard of that? With a wounded warrior battle lion, battle lion, just like that, battle lion. Anyway, Nigel Edge, 40, appeared in North Carolina courtroom. That's his name on Monday, where a judge ordered him to be held without bond. A spokesperson for the city. Of Southport said in a statement he was charged with murder, attempted murder, and assault in connection with a mass shooting Saturday night at the American Fish Company in Southport, a historic port town about 30 miles south of Wilmington. Edge has not entered a plea. A probable cause hearing has been set for October 13th, which will keep you updated with that. The city spokesperson said. Authorities said Edge piloted a boat close to shore, stopped briefly, opened fire at a crowd of vacationers and other patrons in what Police Chief Todd Corin called a highly premeditated targeted attack. 5 people remain hospitalized Monday. None of the victims' identities have been released yet. He was arrested about half an hour later after a U.S. Coast Guard crew spotted him pulling a boat from the water at a public ranch on Oak Island where he lives. North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations Director Chip Hawley, said at the news conference Monday that law enforcement officers got the confession from the suspect. He did not elaborate. Edge, who was born in Suffern, New York, and changed his name from Sean Debevoise in 2023, told police he was injured in combat and suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, Corin said. Oak Island Chief Charles Moore said he was known to officers who frequently saw him by the town pier, and that Edge had filed numerous lawsuits against the department and in town in recent years. In one, he saw body camera video from an encounter after his boat trailer was vandalized. Legal records indicate Edge had turned to the court system in recent years to air a variety of perceived grievances. Among a number of recent local, federal lawsuits, court records show is one filed May 12 in which he accused an area church of trying to make him commit suicide because he is not LGBTQ or a pedophile. In another, in 2024, he made numerous claims against his parents, including that they falsified a birth certificate for a feral child. Plaintiff suffers from war injuries and he suffers from delusions and PTSD. The VA needs to take care of him. His mother, Sandra Lynn Debevoise, wrote in response the voices could not be reached for comment Monday. Telephone listings could not be located. His petition to change his name, he gave this reason. There have been a lot of I don't know why he said this. He says there has been a lot of SIC, and it has it in like parentheses or whatever, of events in my life that I don't understand. Therefore, I do not trust my family, and I would feel more comfortable starting my life in a new path with a new name. Edge served in the military from 2003 to 2009, achieving the rank of sergeant in 2007, according to military records. Which lists his specialties as a assault man and a reconnaissance man. He had deployments in 2020. Sorry, I keep saying 2020. In 2005 and in 2006 as part of the Operation Iraqi Freedom, and was awarded a Purple Heart, a medal given to those wounded or killed in action. Other awards include a Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, a Combat Action Ribbon, Iraq, and Iraq Campaign Medal with 2 Bronze Stars, which denote time spent in Iraq. His last duty assignment was with Wounded Warrior Battalion East, 2 Marine Expeditionary Force in Camp Lejeune, records show. Details of his injuries were not released. A 2017 news story in Wilmington Star News described Debevoise as a Marine sniper who said he'd been left for dead after being shot 4 times, including in the head, during a raid on a warehouse in Iraq in May 2006. The story detailed his efforts to raise money to start commercial fishing business. 2012 post on singer Kelly Pickler appears to show her with a picture of the suspect in a Marine uniform at the Country Music Awards. The photo, first reported by the New York Post, was captioned, "Me and my date, Sergeant Sean Debevoise." Pickler could not be reached for comment. Governor Josh Stein said the weekend shooting were further proof of the need for improvements to fix our broken mental health care system. We know that the vast majority of folks with mental health challenges pose no risk to others, but some can, Stein said. There are too many people in our communities with dangerous obsessions exhibiting threatening behavior who those pose risk. Stein was scheduled to meet with local law enforcement and community leaders Monday afternoon in Southport. The North Carolina legislature passed a criminal justice reform bill last week in the wake of the stabbing death of the Ukrainian refugee on a Charlotte commuter train that in part includes a greater emphasis upon defendant who needs mental health examinations. Stein hasn't yet said whether he let the bill become a law or veto it. Legislation lacks red flag law pushed by Democrats for years that would allow judge to take guns away from a person whose judge has found to be grave risk to the community. Stein said he thinks such a law is a good idea, although he didn't know whether would have been triggered in this case. So that's what we got on there. And then, what do you think? Both stories so far are gathered into veterans who are having a mental health issue and killing people now. What's your thoughts on that?
No comment.
I don't really have anything either.
That's a touchy subject.
Super touchy.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I always say, I send my condolences to the families who had to go through this horrifying experience. And
it really sucks that veterans get a bad rap for one person
Right.
over decades.
Well, I mean, it's more than one person on this
Yeah, I
one.
know.
But
I
two
meant
separate
like
stories and two
one
separate
individual.
veterans. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, leave me your thoughts in the comments what you guys think, But yeah, it is a touchy subject. The government doesn't really help fund a lot of resources after, military people get back. So if they had more resources and more people that they could talk to and help them out, things would be different. But it also
I don't
depends
know about
on
that.
what happens. You know what I mean? What happened out
Yeah.
there and in the grave of the situation. Moving along now to Harvard on the chopping block right now. Harvard University, one of the nation's most prestigious academic institutions, finds itself under federal scrutiny as the Trump administration initiates the debarment proceedings, potentially stripping the university of eligibility to receive federal fundings. The move could dramatically affect federal grants, research contracts, and programs tied to federal dollars, raising concerns among students, faculty, and policymakers. What does debarment means? Debarment means it's a legal mechanism through which an organization can be deemed ineligible to contract with federal government. For Harvard, this could translate into loss of federal research grants across disciplines, including medicine, science, engineering, and social studies, suspension of federally funded scholarships, fellowships, and student aid programs, potential restrictions on partnerships with other federally funded institutions, and collaborative projects. The process involves hearings, appeals, and possible injunctions, giving Harvard the opportunity to challenge the department before it becomes final. However, even the initiations of proceedings can create uncertainty for ongoing projects and funding cycles. Officials cite unspecified compliance or administrative failures as the rationale for debarment. Critics, however, argue the move may be politically motivated, targeting the institutions perceived as opposing certain federal policies or challenging the administration priorities. This controversy has sparked a broader debate about the role of federal oversight versus political influence in higher education, raising questions about whether funding decisions are based on merit, compliance, or ideological alignment. The potential loss of federal funding could ripple across Harvard academic ecosystem. Students may lose access to federal funding scholarships, stipends, and research opportunities. Faculty and researchers could face interrupted grant funding, affecting lab work, publications, and collaborative studies. Long-term impact may include delayed research breakthroughs and diminished competitiveness in global academic research. The uncertainty also threatens partnerships with other universities and organizations reliant on federal contracts, creating a cascading effect beyond Harvard itself. The announcement has drawn strong reactions on multiple platforms. Education advocates, lawmakers, and Harvard officials warn that the move could have chilling effects on higher education, research innovation, and the broader academic community. Supporters argue that the enforcement compliance ensures accountability for institutions that benefit from federal funding, framing the action as necessary measures to uphold rules and standards. The debate underscores the intersection of education, politics, and accountability, highlighting the broader implications of federal actions on American academia or academics. So, with that, do you think that's a good idea that the government is now going to not fund any more of the Harvard grants and researches and stuff like that. I feel like that's gonna make us go back on the researches that we have to look for. Like Alzheimer's and
Well,
diabetes and you name it.
Harvard really doesn't specialize in that, but I do know a lot of the Ivy League schools as of recently, like within the past 3, 4 years, maybe even a little bit before that, have been in a lot of hot water with, parents, the communities, everything, political figures over like going back on what they like, not like, being what they've like their teaching material, like being like top of the line, like all of that, and going with more of what people would call a woke teaching material instead of this, very prestigious, you know, like you're here to be top of the line student, go in and, come out and be like a, go into these great fucking fields because of what we taught you kind of deal. And people are like, we're sending you here to, and we're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for all this. And yet you're just not giving them that, the thing, like the education that you used to like advertise.
Yeah.
And people just got absolutely fucking livid. And it, like I said, it used to only be like at very first it was just like the parents that were angry. And then once word got out into the papers and the media, it was like then small time politicians. Then once that got larger, then larger politicians, and it started snowballing. So, to where it was like Princeton, fucking Harvard, all of those kind of fucking, big Ivy League schools. So Harvard, like, and obviously Harvard is just the one that got it first. So
Well, there's that. There's that. Feel like I should skip this, but it's actually an update about it. So we got some legal proceedings now against the assassinator of Charlie Kirk's Tyler Robinson. The nation continues to grapple with the aftermath of the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk on September 10th of this year, 2025. During a speaking engagement at Utah Valley University, Tyler Robinson, 22, has been charged with aggravated murder and faces the death penalty. Additional charges include felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. In committing a violent offense in the presence of a child. At a court hearing on September 29th, Robinson appeared via audio from jail. His defense attorney requested additional time to review the extensive evidence before proceeding with a preliminary hearing. The next hearing is scheduled for October 30th, which will keep you updated on that, underscoring the complexity of the case and the volume of evidence involved. The judge acknowledged the voluminous nature of the evidence, signaling that the proceedings are likely to be lengthy and closely scrutinized. This early stage sets the tone for a high-profile legal battle with national attention. The evidence against Robinson, prosecutors have presented incriminating text messages and DNA evidence linking Robinson directly to the crime. Among the most disturbing elements is a note left for his romantic partner, stating, "I had the opportunity to kill one of the nation's leading conservative voices, and I'm going to take it." This premeditation, combined with digital and physical evidence, frames the prosecution's case as strong, though the evidence may attempt to challenge certain aspect or negotiate a plea. motive and political context. Robinson reportedly expressed the belief that Kirk spreads too much hate, framing the shooting as politically motivated in his mind. The incident has ignited national debate over political violence, highlighting concerns about rhetoric and online radicalization and the safety of public figures. President Donald Trump weighed in, labeling Kirk a martyr and promising to take action against what he described as threats from the radical left. The comments have fueled partisan discussion about accountability, freedom of speech, and the boundaries of political expression. Some discussion points here: legal strategy. The defense request for extra time could indicate plans to challenge the prosecution, scrutinize the evidence, or explore plea negotiations. How this unfolds will be critical in the shaping the case trajectory. Beyond the courtroom, the assassination has intensified debates over political rhetoric and the responsibilities of public figures to avoid inflaming extremist actions. Utah Valley University faces the ongoing challenge of addressing trauma, enhancing campus security, and supporting students and staff in the wake of this violent event. So there's that. I feel like I didn't explain well why he was at court. I think it has to do. Give me a second. Here it is. An attorney for 22-year-old man charged with killing Charlie Kirk asked Judge Monday for more time to review the large amount of evidence in the case before deciding if the defense will seek preliminary hearing. So what do you guys think about that? You think that they should extend it, or you think they got all the physical evidence? What do you think?
I mean, it's just a preliminary hearing. It's it's just the first, it's just the thing they go into first before the the actual real hearing.
Okay.
So
We'll find out on October 30th. Then what they come up with next.
yeah, it's just the first round of it. They can still get more evidence as it goes on. But I honestly think they have enough.
Huh?
I said I honestly think they have enough, though, even though it's the first round.
Yeah. Moving on to another chilling event over last week that I forgot to touch. Lorenz Kraus confesses to killing his parents in a TV interview. I don't know if you know about this, but this man was alleged to kill his parents in August of 2017, and it took until last week to hear the confession on national TV in Albany. In a chilling turn of events, 53-year-old Lorenz Kraus admitted on television to killing his elderly parents, Franz and Teresia Kraus, in August 2017. The couple had been missing for years, and their remains were recently discovered buried in the backyard of their Albany, New York home, reopening questions about family dynamics and morality and the role of media in high-profile confessions. The confession. Kraus voluntarily contacted CBS affiliate WRGB TV and agreed to an on-camera interview during the televised segment. He had admitted to suffocating his father and strangling his mother, stating, "I did my duty to my parents." He described the killing as so quick and defended them as act of mercy. In response to their suffering, Kraus explained that his mother had recently fallen and his father had undergone cataract surgery, leaving both parents with diminished independence and quality of life. He framed the act as a compassionate response, though the legal and ethical implications remain deeply contested. Discovery of remains. The investigation began with authorities noted that the Krauses were still receiving Social Security payments despite being missing. This triggered a welfare check, ultimately leading to the discovery of their remains remain buried in the family backyard. The discovery confirmed suspicions of foul play and initiated a legal process that has now entered a national spotlight. With legal proceedings following the televised confession, Kraus was arrested outside the television studio and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of concealment of a human corpse. He pleaded not guilty during his arraignment and is currently held without bail as authorities prepare for a complex legal case that will explore both motive and mental state. So here's my discussion. Motive and mental state. Was Kraus' claim of mercy killing a genuine belief, or does it indicate underlying psychological issues? How might courts assess his mental state and intent? What do you guys think? I got some videos too that I have on my
I mean,
page.
if the man held on to it for that many years, that's some real like psycho like killer like kind of deal. Like,
It was
let's
killing
all
him
be
alive.
honest here.
You know what I mean?
Like, I don't think he was like, I'm gonna do this mercifully for them. Like, no, I'm not buying that whole thing. Like,
Did you ever hear about that?
no, I didn't, but I'm just not buying the whole, oh, it was for mercy.
Yeah, you should hear the whole interview. I got it on my
Like,
I got it
if
on
it was
my channel, Jay Morales.
if it was for mercy, I would have been like it would have been, like a year later, I'd have been like, fine, fuck it, I'm going to the cops. Can't, I'm not. I can't live with this anymore. But years later, like that, nah, that's not. That's not something you really just hold on to that long.
Facts.
But you just don't just suddenly decide to go, oopsie daisy, that's right, mom and dad are in the backyard. I want to kind of plant a garden there, so can't do it because they're back there. So guess I'm gonna turn myself in now, though.
Right?
Oh, that's like maybe he was, but I'm not gonna lean that way. I guess they're gonna have to get him psychologically evaluated before they can accept the fucking thing.
Right.
But I'm gonna guess that he's probably not. Like, so.
The next question is: Can ending a life ever be justified as a mercy killing without the explicit consent of the individual? This raises questions about autonomy, familial duty, and societal boundaries. What do you think?
I ain't touching that one with a 38.5-foot pole.
What do you think, Prophet?
What was the question again?
I said, can ending a life ever be justified as a mercy killing without the explicit consent of the individual? This raises questions about autonomy, familial duty, and societal boundaries.
I think that is the boundary.
You want to explain? Elaborate?
Oh, no, hell no. But I'll elaborate. So, honestly, it's not good. We're taught not to kill. So anyway you slice it, it's still murder.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Anyways, so when you get into the whole concept of mercy killing, even if the person's willing, they're not willing. That's what we're taught through media.
Yeah, according to his interview, also he said that he was telling them that his mother left him a letter saying that he needs to do the right thing for them, and blah
Yeah, but
blah.
until they find that letter,
Yeah, he's blaming that the police took it and hidden it and all that stuff. I want to show you the video, but are you guys gonna be able to hear it?
I'm pretty sure that letter it was probably taken out of context.
I wouldn't doubt it. Here, I'm gonna see if I can bring up that that video. Go ahead and keep talking about it. Actually, you may ask one more question so we can just flow through this video. The confession was made on television, raising debates over journalistic responsibility, the influence of public confession on due process, and potential implications for trial proceedings. Oh, that wasn't a question, but that was just the ending on that for the media role. I believe it.
Oh yeah.
because if the letter, like if that letter literally just says, "I need you to kill me, I'm in pain," I'm not gonna no. That is so vague. It like you know what I mean? That is the vaguest shit imaginable. Like it can be construed either way. Like it has to have like you know what I mean? It has to have instructions. Like that can just sound like he wrote it himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What the
'Cause
heck
they'll-
is going on?
Like they'll compare it against, other things that the mother wrote, and then that leaves the other question out. Oh, well, now you got to find something. Did the father agree as well? Did he give a letter? Because yeah, sure, the mother may have consented, but did the father?
That's the question. Here, are you gonna be able to hear this, Revelations? I'm about to share it. I have multiple shorts here of this. It's on my
all I
channel,
know is-
J Morales Unbound. I'm sharing it now. Can you see it now, Prophet?
No, I'm currently in the midst of finding myself something to eat. I'm hungry. Sorry.
Now that's production.
All I know is this needs to be the last thing article.
Huh?
It is almost 12:30.
Yeah, I know. Ladies and gentlemen,
Happy
you can
Halloween.
find all these videos on my YouTube channel right here of him talking about his confession to WGRB. Hopefully I said that correct or where they did it. It was in Albany. I think it was Channel 6. But yes. Check that out. I'll let that go. There we go. Turn that off. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm just gonna talk about a couple more things, like one more thing that is that's been a trending conversation since yesterday's thing. Also, Jimmy Kimmel is in Brooklyn this week with a bunch of pre-recorded shows that there's gonna be released. He's gonna be on here actually in a few minutes at 12:30. Make sure to catch it and watch his Brooklyn show for the Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Did you see his ratings are dipping again?
They're dipping again. I don't know. I don't know. I know.
Majorly.
I'll look up some information if you want to talk about it.
I'd rather not. I'd rather go to bed.
Oh my God, my co-hosts are dying off on me here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Um,
Men, women, children. It's tell them it's 12:30
remember
Eastern time.
Eastern time, yeah, but right now it's freaking like 10 o'clock in the West Coast. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Global music sensation Bad Bunny has been announced as the headliner for the Apple Music Super Bowl 60 halftime show. Scheduled for Sunday, February 8th, 2026 at the Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. The announcement was made jointly by the NFL, Apple Music, and Rock Nation, marking a major milestone for the Latin music representation on one of the world's most watched entertainment stages. Born Benito Antonio Martino Ocasio, Bad Bunny is a 3 Grammy award-winning artist whose work in Latin trap and reggaeton has reshaped the global music landscape. His album Un Verano Sin Ti and Debí Tirar Más Fotos achieved both critical acclaim and commercial success, cementing his status as a global music icon. Beyond music, Bad Bunny has ventured into acting, appearing in films such as Bullet Train and Happy Gilmore 2. Has collaborated with leading fashion houses, further expanding his cultural influence. Additionally, he is known for his advocacy on social issues, particularly those affecting Puerto Rico, using his platform to amplify marginalized voices. The performance will be broadcast live on NBC, drawing millions of viewers worldwide. Historically, the Super Bowl halftime show has served as a showcase for top musical talent and a stage for cultural milestones. Bad Bunny selection signals both a recognition of Latin music global impact and a commitment to diversifying mainstream entertainment platforms. The announcement has generated a wide spectrum of responses. Public support fans have celebrated the inclusion of Latin music at the Super Bowl with social media buzz with excitement and anticipation for a dynamic and culturally rich performance. Political commentary, they say some political figures weigh in on selection, reflecting ongoing debate about cultural representation, diversity, and the intersection of entertainment and politics. These discussions highlight how major entertainment events have become platforms for both celebration and political discourse. Discussion points here, and ladies and gentlemen, cultural representation. Bad Bunny Super Bowl appearance underscores the growing influence of Latin music in global entertainment industries. And what does this mean for future programming and visibility of diverse cultural voices? So let me know in the comment sections what you think about that. Entertainment and politics. How do political perspectives intersect with artistic events? Examine the ways that artists navigate public expectations, political commentary, and their own platform when participating in major cultural moments. Bad Bunny performance is set to be a landmark event, not just for music fans, but also for cultural and social discourse, demonstrating the evolving role of entertainment in shaping global conversations. There's many more things. It's about technology, but we're just gonna end it there tonight. Before we have our closing statements here, we will have our good friend here, Revelations, give us the daily reminder of the day. Go ahead.
The daily reminder for today is when you are driving down the road, you need to be very wary of people that are in Nissan Altimas, because we all know what the Nissan Altima drivers are like. So always stay in the middle of the road, because they always, just they can come out of nowhere. Hell, they'll, just probably jump across the median, and land on a semi. They'll do wild crap. You've probably seen the videos on YouTube, Facebook Reels, Tinder, Grindr, Grubhub, DoorDash. You've probably seen them all on there. Anyways, yeah. Yep,
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's move over to our good friend The Prophet with our evening or midnight joke of the day.
I don't know if you know or not, Jay.
Oh, we have lost our good friend, the Prophet. You have a good night, sir, wherever you are. Sleep well. I'm trying to get to this part here. I'm so sorry. All right.
Mosquitoes jumping off a wall.
All right, guys. As we wrap up today's episodes, it's important to recognize that the stories we cover, political crisis, legal cases, disasters, can be a real emotional impact. Taking care of your mental health is just as crucial as staying informed. If you or someone you know is struggling with stress, anxiety, and thoughts of self harm, please reach out in the United States. Call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or the SAMHSA Helpline at 1 800 662 4357. Additionally, if we want to address domestic violence, which can be silent in crisis in many homes, if you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, help is available. National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1 800 799 7233. Text START to 88788 for confidential support. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, and you are not alone. Take care of yourself and those around you matters as much as staying informed. I see that he's back. Before I finish this off, do you have that, my good friend Prophet? Do you have the joke of the evening?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Give
you
me a
hear that,
second,
everyone?
prepare.
Story time.
While our good friend Prophet
Okay.
here gets it all ready up, make sure to also don't forget that on October 11th. I messed up. Go ahead.
Okay. One day, a bunny passed a bear sitting on a log. He stopped and asked the bear, "Hey, does a bear shit in the woods?" The bear asked back, "Does a bunny have problems with shit sticking to your fur?" "Ha, no." So the big bear picked him up and wiped his ass with him.
Oh my fuck, I can just picture that shit happening. Like almost in a cartoon way. Fucking bear on two legs and he's like, "I've had enough of your shit, I have to deal with you every day." Just grabs him and wipes his ass.
SC Johnson, a family company.
Bruh. Bruh. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, that one short but great. Oh,
Here's a few ads for tonight. Don't forget to tune in on October 11, 2025 at the Crown Jewel WWE event. It's scheduled to be held at the RAC Arena. So it's going to be the first ever Crown Jewel. It's the first Crown Jewel not held in Saudi Arabia. Other upcoming
Thankfully.
events in Riyadh include International Saudi Falcons and Hunting Exhibition, which concluded on October 11 of 2025. So it's going to conclude then. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. Don't forget to tune in Saturday, October 11th for the Crown Jewel WWE event Crown Jewel. We'll give you the latest Next week we'll give you the rundown for the lineup of the matches for the WWE superstars. And then I also have something else I need to say before I forget it. I don't think I can do it right now because I didn't take a picture. Oh wait, I know what to do. Give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few ads I need to say. The first ad for the night before we're out of here because I forgot to even do it in the beginning. Some of the sponsors tonight here. This sponsor is brought to you by Dabs Anal, the only thing sliding into your night harder than your ex at 2 a.m. Dabs Anal Lube. Make sure to get that. That's one of our first, new sponsors. Dabs Anal. Have you ever heard of it, guys?
Use code Johnson & Johnson for 15% off.
SC Johnson, a family company.
Better than baby oil is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Also,
Non-toxic.
what?
Non-toxic.
Non-toxic. We also have our good friends at the Kville, the Kville Hotel and Tavern, wherever that went. I had it here, but here it is. The Kville Hotel and Tavern. You guys know about the Kville by now. We got to make a trip out there. You trying to go the 5-hour drive?
No.
Yeah, we should do it. Yeah, one of our sponsors are also the Kville Hotel and Tavern in Klein-Feltersville, Pennsylvania. Open from Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday 4 to 9, Thursday 4 to 9, Friday 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, Sunday 12 to 8. Phone number to reach them is at 717-949-8413 and their address is 2647 Heidelberg Avenue in Klein-Feltersville, Pennsylvania. And so you know, it is not, I repeat, it is not a real hotel anymore. It has been converted to just a restaurant. So don't think that you can just call and make reservations to stay and sleep because it is not a place to sleep. It used to be a hotel. Now it is a tavern restaurant.
Unless you bring an absolutely absurd amount of money and say, I want to eat and then sleep overnight, I don't care where you put me, I will, even if that means on the floor. They might entertain the thought. Probably not, though.
Probably not, but you know that's for another thing. I also need to say I'm on a show because I forgot to mention this also in this broadcast. I'm also on a show called Producer Mike Presents The Movement with me, Jay Morales, and as the co-host. We're on. I don't have the thing up, do I? No, I don't. Here it is, folks. Here it is, folks. Here it is. I'm on this show right here, The Movement. We just had a show yesterday. I don't know why it's not showing it. There we go. We had a show yesterday. Here we go. We had a show yesterday right here. You can catch it right now. Make sure to just type in Producer Mike Presents. YouTube at Producer Mike Presents. If anything, look up this man right here in orange. And that's how you made it when it says Producer Mike Presents Jessup Legacy. Jessup Show Legacy. If the reason why it says in the Jessup Show Legacy, it's because this podcast used to be a show called the Jessup Show Podcast with comedian, you know what, we're just going to say it now because it ain't a secret anymore. Mark Ryan, comedian Mark Ryan plays a persona called Steve Jessup, a redneck from Louisiana. Make sure to tune in on that. They got major we got major episodes there that I think you guys will laugh your asses off. I promise you will enjoy that. The show of the Jessup Show Legacy ended earlier this year. Mr. Jessup ended up moving into separate shows now. You can't catch him on live, but you can catch him live at certain comedy places around the country, like Vegas. Vegas, Nashville, places in Florida, North Carolina, certain parts of Texas. Make sure to keep an eye out for the Steve Jessup show there. Also, the Jessup comedian Steve Jessup, aka Mr. Mark Ryan, sending a lot of love to you. Thank you so much for the opportunity of many years of the show and being part of something big. Without you, I would have not known what I know now to become a better podcaster as we go along. So thank you for that. So yeah, that was it. The K-Ville Hotel and Tavern. And our good friend Producer Mike at Producer Mike Presents The Movement. So make sure to tune in on those. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to the moment that we all been waiting for is our ending, and I'm sorry for such a long show, and I want to say thank you for tuning in today for today's episode of Unbound, where we explored politics, world events, high-profile legal cases, and cultural milestones. We hope today's episode gave you a clarity, context, and conversation points for the world around you. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode so we can keep delivering unfiltered news and deep dives. Remember, knowledge is power, dialogue is essential, and your mental and emotional well-being, along with safety of those around you, is always a priority. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and stay unbound. You guys say your goodbyes now, because we're heading out.
Yeet.
Later.
Little quick shout outs to the Jessup crew. Shout out to Eddie Weber, Keith, the Bucklands, producer Mike, Steve Jessup, the Tank crew, if I didn't say that already. Lando Smile, Nix, Crawface. Shout out to my dad, one of the biggest supporters of the show. Shout out to all my buddies. Storm, the Crawford.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.